Hello, everyone. This is Ferrante Frazier from Savannah Natural Health with another episode of Natural is F. I am a hygieophysician physician and a natural orthopathic practitioner. Now, that's a little different than naturopathy, but we're natural orthopathic, meaning upright. We use nature in the most unadulterated way possible to help individuals achieve ideal health in their bodies without the use of medicines, herbs, and supplements. That's when we say unadulterated. We thank all our listeners for tuning into this another episode of Natural is F, and we want you to stop what you're doing and share with somebody. Hit share, tag someone into this episode and let other people enjoy the benefits of what we have to offer today. We're going to show people how to lose weight. We're going to teach people how to eat in such a way where they don't suffer disease in their body. We're going to look at how to build your body back up properly and helping you understand that only renewed habits come from a renewed way of thinking. So we have to change our thought patterns to create different behavior. You create the thought and then that behavior follows that. So that's what we're going to be hitting on today in our show. So we want you to stay tuned, go get your pen and pad and share, call up some friends and make it a sit down because this is information that you really want to hear and it's free thanks to the ATR media platform. Go to their website right now and hit like and share on their platform. They're also, you can find them on YouTube streaming live as well. Our show is every Tuesday at 6 o'clock. Now they have multiple different shows that show off the ATR platform that is bringing the awareness of mankind into the conscious age, in other words, and helping us create more love and purity and harmonious behavior into the world. So we have to first bring this education and wake people up. And this is the awakening that you see going on. And our awakening is, you'll say, it's geared towards waking people up to that the body heals itself and that, our mentality that we've been built through the medical people is disturbing and that it is destructive and is causing us to suffer many health issues continuous in our life. And not only suffer, we're creating diseases that we would not get provided that we didn't use the medical mentality at fighting these things. You can't fight disease. We don't fight disease. Disease is the process of healing. So you don't fight that which is there to heal. You don't fight the cough. You don't fight the sneeze. You don't fight the diarrhea. You allow those to run a course. You just find out what's producing them and then remove that, and then those symptoms or effects will disappear. So it's all about removing the cause so the symptoms disappear. And this is a different mentality that hygienics teach. Our teaching is based in the modality of natural hygiene. Natural hygiene is that biology, that science of biology that deals with the unadulterated connection between our living organism and the nature around us. We have to be obedient to the nature around us, and we got a connection, a personal, loving, intimate connection with nature. It's just that a lot of us are not in tune with that natural instinct of breathing fresh air over the toxic air that we have, taken into our lives and our houses in our work areas, in our play areas. We're drinking drinks that are not ideal for us. And we're not messing with Mother Nature drink, which is water. And we've taken for ourselves these other different concoctions of the brewery, the witch brewery, we would call it. But also, we are not eating the foods that Mother Nature churn out to us every season. We have made for ourselves a culinary art that we make concoctions of different manners of food that is not ideal for consumption and actually poisonous to the human body. So we're cheating with Mother Nature. Mother Nature has a relationship. We're married to nature, but we've been cheating the whole time. With cheetahs and Adultery gets you. So this is why we're suffering a lot in our health issue. But I know this is what we teach in Natural as F on our shows every Tuesday. So tune in and get a better education about how to protect yourself and your loved ones the natural way, unadulterated. Like I said, I want to thank everyone for being here. I want you to look us up. We're out of Savannah, Georgia, where we've been helping individuals correct their health issue over a decade now. We want to share a little bit about how to lose 7 pounds in 7 days. We noticed that a lot of people are looking to lose weight in this day and age. And there's so much information out there today about how to lose weight that it will just make you just, want to beat your head into a wall. And who to believe? You got the medical mentality, you got these drugs that supposed to so-called help you lose weight. You got the herb man, got some herbs to help you lose weight. Everything is to suppress the appetite instead of just eat properly. You can eat properly because it's natural to eat. It's not natural to suppress the appetite, but it's natural to eat. But eating those foods that are given in the marriage of nature, that intimate relationship we talked about. So that natural way of eating is to eat foods that are designed for the human body. And we're not using the culinary art to design food for us. Mother Nature already designed the food that is necessary for us to partake, that we can use for vitamins and minerals uptake into our body. A lot of us don't realize that's the purpose of eating in the first beginning. We thought that eating was for taste. The more tastier the food, the more we want to eat it. But food is actually for us to take in vitamins and minerals in which to repair our bodies, to heal our body, to bring in material, raw material in which to build this body back up. Matter of fact, we're going to be talking about that when we get to metabolism. Food enzymes for better metabolism. And what is metabolism? So make sure you get a paper and pen and you write down some of this information that we're providing for you. We're giving you natural hygienic education. We're not going to say that this is the greatest of all information, but we believe it to be so because we've seen it work so much in individuals. Every individual who applied this information into their life saw change. Not just some of them, not 50%, not 30%, like we see in medication with all of these variations. That's why medical science is not seen as a true science because there's so many variations. But natural hygiene is a true science because there is no variations. It's just demonstratable every time. You do this right, it will produce this effect every time. Not sometimes, but every time. What goes up must come down. That's a law of gravity. That's a science. Mathematics, 1 + 1 = 2. That's a mathematics. You can never find where 1 + 1 = 3. So this is demonstrated over and over and over and over that 1 + 1 = 2. That's a science. But whereas medicine comes about, medicine has so many variations. It may do this in one person. It may do that in another person. It don't do nothing in anybody. It causes this and this person causes that. And it's so much variation in the medical approach towards healing that you see that it's not a true science. And I know a lot of people around here are using the term follow the science after that Dr. Fauci or whatever his name is. I don't want to just beat up his name because I just don't know how to pronounce it. But the guy who's in charge right now, that's his slogan. Before this COVID even came out, when he was studying AIDS and studying cancer, that's his thing. Follow the science, follow the science. Follow them, in other words. They want to keep you blind to follow their science, not science, but their science or their theory, their understanding. So they're telling you to follow the science of the day, but the science of the day have pitfalls because it's only of today because it's some man thinking that he following his own belief. Today it sounds good, but tomorrow it'd be buried in a grave, only to be changed by a whole nother theory or another belief system. But the natural hygiene has been the same yesterday. It's going to be the same today, and it's going to be the same tomorrow. Kind of sound like the Bible say our God is the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. So we're always going to need fresh air, sunlight, food, the right food, and we're going to need sunlight, the fresh air and drinking water and staying away from toxic people. All the ways of natural hygiene. Those are the ways that were needed when the first man came on earth. It's needed today with us on earth now, and it's going to be for future generations to need those things as well, or they won't live on earth. So natural hygiene is that science, that natural biology that is required for us to have our greatest optimum life here present. So let's look at a little bit about how to lose this 7 pounds in 7 days. Now, when individuals come into our practice, we put them on you'll say, an ideal way of eating for 7 days to show them that their body is able to lose this weight and feel great, all without taking any medicine. All right. So we start them off with one. Check this out. Write this down. We get them up at 6 o'clock in the morning. They don't get out of bed until 6 o'clock in the morning. But as they're getting up, we have them meditating. Now, I know you say, well, how does meditation help me lose weight? Well, as the mind thinketh, so shall the individual be, according to biblical research, according to psychology, and just according to other ways of thinking, the placebo effect. You can create by using your mind, and that's where the creativity starts at, in the mind. All right, in thought. So if you're thinking in meditation, and if you hold that thought in mind that you have lost a pound today, all right, I'm going to go. You can even go ahead. We have them create their day, their whole day in their thought. They're going to see themselves eating at 12 o'clock, eating what we tell them to eat. And then they're going to see themselves eat at dinner time what we tell them to eat. They're actually eating it in their mind as they start that day. Early in the day, as they're waking up out of sleep. All right, so you're getting up out of sleep, and as you're coming and waking up, you consciously to see yourself at noontime eating your meal that you're supposed to eat, that we tell you to eat, and you just keep seeing yourself eat that meal over and over while you're waking up. That's when you're in your hypnotic state, because you're waking up and you're in between sleep and you're in between wake. So that's what you call in a hypnotic state, in a low wave, a slowed wave where you can be more suggestive. So if you're creating that thought into your mind and you're saying, well, I'm going to be eating this fruit, and this fruit tastes good. I'm eating enough of it, and then you see yourself at the end of the day, you done lost 1 pound. All right? And you do the same thing at dinner time too. You see yourself eating that meal. And if you can hold in thought something, you're going to eventually get it. Because if you think about Oreo cookies, guess what? You're going to go get you some Oreo cookies. If all your mind is thinking about Popeye's chicken, guess what? You're going to find yourself in Popeye's chicken lot going through the drive-thru windows getting you one of their chicken sandwiches. So if you hold in mind what you're going to do starting off when you get up in the morning, that's going to determine your day. So if you go about thinking about your meal being a fresh fruit at 12 o'clock, because that's what we broke fast with. That's what we call breakfast, break fast. All right, so we break our fast, or we eat breakfast at 12 noon, and we have a meal of a juicy fruit or a wholesome fruit, in other words, to when we're detoxing or trying to lose weight, it'll be a more juicy fruit like oranges, grapefruit, pineapple, watermelon, cantaloupes, honeydew. That would be the ideal thing for us to start off and using to start the weight loss. And then at dinner time, we will break dinner and have dinner, our last meal of the day, between 6 and 8. So first meal is between at noontime, and that is a a fruit meal. And you can eat as much of this fruit as you can, uh, as you want. But let's back up a little bit though. Our first, when we get up at 6 o'clock, like I said, we do the meditation. That meditation is going to be you seeing your day, eating fruits, and in the evening time, see yourself eating a dinner meal, and then watching yourself step on the scale with a 1 pound loss. All right. So you got to imagine that at the end of the week, you have lost 7 pounds, and you got to see yourself standing on the scale 7 pounds lighter. But you got to hold it in your mind. I mean, keep it in your mind. Tell your subconscious, don't know nothing else. Can't believe anything else. So if you can convince your subconscious mind to have you 7 pounds lighter, you're going to be 7 pounds lighter. No ifs, ands, buts about it. So that's where the meditation comes in play. Soon as you get up from meditation, you go in there and drink you 4 to 8 ounces of distilled water. That's 4 ounces or 8 ounces of distilled water. So you're just drinking you like a half a glass or a whole glass of distilled water. That's going to be the first thing that you start putting into your body. This is going to help with breaking down, toxic chemicals, diluting them where they can be less irritating in your body and be able to be transferred out of your body, because a lot of toxins are trapped in our body because they are too irritating to be eliminated. They do too much harm to the organs and tissue as they're coming out to the body. So they are put in areas that can deal with the irritation, or put in capsules that can deal with the irritation, or stored in fat tissue that doesn't can't feel the irritation. And that's why we notice that we have all this weight on us, because we have all these toxins built up in our body. But when we drink the water helps dilute those irritating toxins to help them be able to be freely eliminated out of the body, less irritating. This is also why we talk about salads, and that's what we're going to be talking about next in a minute, about what is a real salad, where it can help with bringing toxins out of the body. But let's get back to our day. We start off with meditation in the morning. We get up 6 o'clock with that meditation. Then by 7 or 8 o'clock, we're drinking 4 to 8 ounces of water, and we're doing a conscious breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. A lot of the time, we have a bunch of carbon built up in our body because we're not breathing, and we don't get fresh air, oxygen to help with the transfer of getting these carbon back out of our body. So all we have to do is just breathe in and breathe out, but consciously do it, meaning that you're consciously aware that you're breathing in through your nose. I'm breathing in, one. I'm breathing out, one. I'm breathing in, two. I'm breathing in, out, two. So you're consciously doing it. I'm in, I'm out. And do that 20 times while you, just before or after you do 4 to 8 ounces of water at 10 o'clock. Remember, you did it at 8 o'clock and you did it at 10 o'clock. And now at 12 o'clock, you're not drinking any water anymore, because you're going to have your break fast. You're going to eat. All right. You're going to eat at 12 o'clock juicy fruit. You're going to pick a fruit, and you're going to eat as much of that fruit as you want until you satisfy your hunger. Not overeat, and we don't want to feel sluggish and tired. We don't want pains in our stomach. We're not just eating just to gorge and fill up on food. We want to eat until we're satisfied. We had enough. If we slowly eat our food and give the sugar a chance to, and the insulin to rise in our spinal cord, it will signify to our hypothalamus that we've had enough food. Then hunger will dissipate from our mind. We won't have the signs and symptoms of hunger, that pleasant watering of the mouth or the throat. So after that 12 o'clock, we shouldn't need water with that anyhow, because we're juicy fruit. So after that, we want to wait till around about 2 hours to 3 hours. So we say around about 3 o'clock, then we'll have us another 4 to 8 ounces of water, and then we'll do our 20 conscious breathing again. And then we're at between 6 and 8, preferably 6 o'clock, we will have our dinner meal. Now, our dinner meal is going to consist of a raw, fresh salad. A raw, fresh salad. It's going to be where you're going to be eating like cucumbers, lettuce, and bell peppers, and celery. That's all the salad should consist of. That's going to be 50% of your meal. So if you cut your plate in half, let's say that you get one of them styrofoam trays from a restaurant that have the 50% of the tray, and then you have two compartments at top that are 25% and 25%. Let's look at your dinner meal is being composed in that manner. The biggest tray, which is where you usually put the rice and the oxtails and stuff at, that's going to be where your salad is going to be. Now, I know your salad usually be in the little compartment, the 25% compartment, but we're going to change that. We're going to make the salad the big 50% compartment. And then in your 25% compartment, that's where you're going to put the rice, and that's where you're going to put some steamed vegetables. Right? So you'll put some broccoli in one, and then you'll put some rice in the other, and then you'll have a big salad. That would be your meal for supper time. Now that showed the greatest weight loss. Now those who are not ready to transition to a vegan lifestyle, it would be ideal for you to take away the rice from the plate and substitute that with a meat of your choice. So instead of you having rice on the plate, those who don't want rice, you can substitute that for potatoes, pasta, or bread. That'll be your carb that will be on your plate. But those who are not ready for the vegan lifestyle, you will substitute the carb for a protein of your choice. So you will have a big salad, and you will have steamed vegetables, broccoli, cabbage, string beans, Brussels sprouts, asparagus, whatever, squash, zucchini, eggplant, whatever steamed veggie you want in that 25% tray. And then in the next 25% tray, you'll have the meat of your choice, chicken wing, a turkey wing, a couple of pieces of oxtails, a couple of pieces of steak, whatever. But make sure that it's a whole food. It's not a meat that has been, grinded up, used with other types of food items to prepare, like you get meatloaf and different things of that nature. Let it be a whole piece of meat that you're eating, and then just that one protein food. No mix and match, not no chicken wrap, bacon wrap chicken wing, or bacon wrap drumstick, or anything like that. Those two different characters of protein. You want to make sure that you have the better digestion, where you can create better health and digestive in your system, where you can throw off these toxins and save energy. So after that dinner meal, you want to wait 3 hours after that before you drink again, if you do wish to drink again. All right. Now, those who don't want to eat meat, those who don't want to eat rice and or carbohydrates, that just want to, you can just do a big salad. And then with that big salad, you can throw some fruit up in there, like some pineapples, some tomatoes, and different things of that nature. But you cannot eat carbs or protein foods when you're doing fruits. All right. So that's why we had you eating fruits early in the morning, because they digest real rapidly, and they're really pretty much what's going to be helping nourish your body. Also, along with the salad that you're going to be eating. But let's look at this so-called. I hope y'all follow me on that. If you're not, when this finish, all you have to do is rewind it and go watch it a couple of times until you can write down the strategy for your daily detox that we tell you to follow for 7 days. And you'll see that by the end of the week, you should have lost 7 or more pounds. Just follow it to the T. 50% salad, 25% steamed veggie, and 25% plus one other item. That's what help you. Plus one other thing. If you got bread, you can't put rice. If you got rice, you can't do potato. If you got one of those, you can't do a piece of meat. So it's just one other item with your salad and your steamed veggie. That's for dinner. But at 12 noon, you're only doing the fruit, and you got to make sure that you're doing the breathing and the drinking of the water, because that's what's going to help with hydrating the body, where it can throw off these toxins out of your body. All right. So I want to tell y'all best of health on that one there. So and then let us know next week how it did for you when you put it in there. Just comment on our show that I lost the 7 pounds, or I lost 8 pounds, I lost the 9, 10 pounds. Whatever you lost during that week, because you're doing this for 7 days. You're waking up in the morning, meditating, and following the format for 7 days. And at the end of your 7 days, you should definitely be happy with what you see on that scale. But you should already see it because you're meditating that you've already lost the weight. All right. So best of health and happiness for that. Now we want to talk about what is a real salad, because we got you eating salads, and the average person, when they look at a salad, they think of all kind of different salads. I done had clients come to me talking about, well, can I have a shrimp salad, seafood salad, crab salad, macaroni salad, all these different salads that they have out today. Um, they're not true salads, and we want you to stay away from those things that are said to be salad. A salad, the word salad comes from the Latin meaning salt, and it's abundant with organic salts. A real salad is an abundance of organic salts, because salt is another word for electrolytes, minerals, and different things of that nature. So mineral salt is the term that can help you understand what salts mean. But organic salts are meaning living salts. Those salts are usable. They're alive. They're still, they're in a form that the body can make use of it. If it's inorganic salts, those are salts that the body cannot make use of, like eating rock. You can't bite on rock and get use of that rock. You have to wait until the animal kingdom bring that rocks up into apple or orange or peach. That's the transformation. The plant kingdom transformed dead material, inorganic material, into living material, organic material that can be utilized for us to absorb and make use in our body, for us to have health and proper nutrition. So we get an abundance of you'll say, vitamins and minerals when we eat the wholesome foods or the wholesome salads in their natural state. Now, most times when you go to restaurants, you're going to get 2 wilted leaves of lettuce. You're going to get 2 slices of some unripe tomatoes. You're going to probably get some raw onions on the salad, and drizzled in a bunch of greasy dressing. Now, that's not a true salad. The body cannot make use of that. There's no minerals or vitamins in that wasted food that can be used. And then we want to tell you that when you start cutting into this food, you render the food less valuable. The more the tomatoes is cut up, the less value it have, because it start oxidizing. Look at an apple. When you cut into an apple or bite into an apple, as soon as you bite into it, it start losing this nutrition. It start losing vitamin C, because you start seeing that brownness that it look like it's rusting. That's oxidation going on. So imagine a lot of us going to these grocery stores. We're going out to these restaurants and we're buying fruits and vegetables that have been cut up and in these packages, and we're eating it. Those foods cannot be cannot have vitamins and minerals in them. Now, they probably had it prior to the manufacturing of them, prior to the processing of them, prior to the refinement of them. They probably had a huge amount. I'm sure they did when they were found in nature, natural, coming off the tree. But once we started cutting into them and packaging them, refining them, mixing them with different preservatives and additives and things of that nature, we rendered those foods toxic and less valuable for human consumption. So it's not ideal that we grab these things. I know they're putting them out there, and a lot of people saying, "Well, this is a healthy option," but it's not all of. There's the Bible said there's a way that seemeth right, but its end is leads to destruction. So just because they're got these fruits out here on the stand, we may look at it as being healthier than a greasy hamburger, but starvation can kill just as much as poisoning can kill. And if we're not feeding ourselves wholesome food, we're starving ourselves. So we're still sowing death to our body when we're not eating the food in the ideal manner that Mother Nature provides it for us. She brings us this food to our table every season, like I said. And she bring you the food that she believed that is ideal for you. Watermelons in our area be beneficial in just a little bit because she deemed it necessary that we eat watermelon during the months that it's the hottest. She want us hydrated, and she want us eating, less fibrous stuff where we can move about and uh, we feel greater in that time. All the millions. All right, so she supplies the food that we need at the time that we need them. Every year, every season. That's our relationship with Mother Nature. She's always looking out for us. All we have to do is align ourselves up with her. Just like what I said about going to sleep. She cut the light off. We cut the light back on. We burn candles. When she takes the sun down and just put the moon night light up for us to go to sleep, we cut lights on and crank up as if it's still daytime. So we're not in tune with Mother Nature. We get out of balance and then we start suffering disease and illnesses. And then we go to the doctor and we start taking his medicines and herbs and he tells us it's some virus that's caused, some type of bacteria, some germ. He doesn't pay attention to the relationship that Mother Nature is mad at us for not being committed to this relationship, not being committed to this marriage that we have with her. We're cheating, committing adultery, and there's a punishment behind it. It's the law of karma. Whatever a man soweth, so shall he reap. So if you're reaping something, obviously you sowed something. That's just the law. So we have to look at what we're sowing to our body. If we're sowing dead food to our body, because the food that we're eating is dead food, those foods have no enzymes in them. Food enzymes for better metabolism is necessary. But if our food is dead, then there cannot be no metabolism going on in our body because we're not sowing life to the body. We're sowing death. Now, let's look at food enzymes. We're going to talk about enzymes, period. Enzymes is a catalyst that make things happen without going under any change, in other words. So just being there, it makes things happen just by its presence. It'll make a sugar, a carb turn into simple sugars. It make them spread apart by just showing up. It make a trisaccharide turn into a monosaccharide, 3 monosaccharides, because a trisaccharide is 3 chain sugars. Let's say them 3 chain sugars are twisted up. And enzyme amylase is an enzyme that'll come there, and by its presence, it'll make those 3 sugars come apart by just being present there. It'll make them come apart, and they now become monosaccharides, single chain sugar. So enzymes are necessary to break things apart and help things build up that you're going to see in metabolism. But in food nutrition and digestive enzyme, Their objective and their job is to break down raw material into usable form. Like pepsin is the enzyme that breaks down protein into amino acids. All right. So each one of these enzymes have a job to do. But the thing about it is enzymes are found in just about everything, Even our food, our living food has enzymes in them. That's why we're talking about food enzymes here. You remember we talked about the apple? That apple, when it's raw, is intact. But when you start cutting into it, or you warm it up, you destroy enzyme with heat and cutting into the food and allowing it just to sit out. And over time, you lose up to 50% of your vitamin C out of the apple in less than 10 to 15 minutes of cutting into it. So imagine this stuff sitting at McDonald's on the shelf for days on end, chopped up, diced up, you know. Imagine when we dice up on our salads, we dice everything into small pieces and we don't eat it right then. We set it on the table for 10 to 15 minutes. We put it in the refrigerator until we eat it later. We carry it off to work with us and eat it hours and hours later. This food has lost value by then. If we're going to, you don't see the animals in nature chopping up their food and preparing it and all type of stuff like that. Even though eye appealing does help with creating good digestion and helping with, nutrition and stuff, but the food value is more important. If you have to eat the banana, just peeling it and eating it like that, or biting on the cucumber like you eating a pickle, eating the apple like this and eating the bell pepper like an apple. You eating it in a manner that it can be used now. That's how the animals do it. They just go there and just start biting and chewing off the food. So for us to eat the food and get the maximum benefits from the food, we have to eat it when that food is whole, uncooked, unprocessed, unrefined, in a natural state. Then that food would be at this optimum, you say, presence for us to incorporate into our human body as living flesh. So we're sowing living material to our body at maximum levels when we eat it in that manner. When we eat it in the manner that, we've been eating it in, cutting it up, chopping it up, grating it, shredding it. We love to have shredded carrots over our salads, shredded cabbage and different other radishes shredded and stuff. When we shred these things, we're destroying the property of it and we're exposing it to the oxygen of the air and causing oxidation to take effect in our food, rendering the food less edible. So we want to get away from that if we want to have the best nutrition. And we also talked about not cooking our food. A lot of us like to eat this cooked food. Notice that we allow you to do the steamed veggie because some people have to transition. It's just a transition. We prefer you to eat raw and cooked food. The reason why is because food enzymes are destroyed under heat. All enzymes are destroyed under heat. You go over 118 degrees, enzymes are destroyed. That's why the doctor want to break your fever when you go there. If you have a fever of 99 or 100, he ready to give you medicines to bring the fever down because he know that enzyme destruction goes on. Your body start burning up and destroying itself if it goes over a certain amount of degrees. Now, we don't believe in stopping the fever. We believe that the fever is the body warming itself up to get enzyme activity going because enzymes, they act faster as the heat rises. That's why you see the destruction of food because the enzymes are being destroyed and they're breaking the food down rapidly due to the heat that they're involved with. And food goes over 118 degrees, the stove when cooking. They cook at degrees as high as 200 to 300 to 400 degrees, some people. Frying straight up burn and tar the food, such as barbecuing as well. They put tar and carcinogens on the food. That little tar that you get from smoking meats and stuff like that, that is straight carcinogenic. and creating, issues into your body where you're going to suffer with different types of cancer due to the poisoning of your food. Those straight up poison from any way. So our whole objective is to stop poisoning ourselves. Dr. T.C. Frye, another great hygienic practitioner of our time, used to always say, "Thou shalt not poison thyself." That was one of his commandments. "Thou shalt not poison thyself." So if we want to stay healthy, then stop poisoning ourselves. And to stop poisoning ourselves, we need to eat our food in the most wholesome manner that we can take those foods in. And that's by us eating our food raw and cooked. We have to get away from processing and shredding our food and things of that nature. Assortment. A lot of our organs break down too when we're not getting our minerals and vitamins from our food because we're destroying the food. Like I said, when we shred, cut, and do all type of manner of things with our food, we tend to have it lose its vitamins and minerals. As it loses vitamins and minerals, then that food becomes not wholesome for us anymore. So it's not wholesome food. This food is poisonous to us now. So if it's poisonous to us now, that means that our body is being neglected of vitamins and minerals that we need to function. So here again, we're starving ourselves. Organs break down when they don't have minerals and vitamins that they need to stay functioning or to repair their structure. So if the cells need such and such and such and such to create a new structure or to function properly, and we're not getting that, then those cells, they decay, they degenerate, they die. And if the cells die, then the organ in which contain the cell must also eventually die or die. Because if the cell died, then it died because that's what it's made of. If the bricks are taken away from the house, then the house have nothing to stand on. So the house sides fall apart. All the bricks are gone, all the plywood gone. If all the materials are destroyed and taken away, then there's no more found. There's no house. So there's no organ. There's no liver. If all the liver cells are decayed and degenerated because there is no nutrition, no vitamins in which to create structure, no minerals in which to create functioning power. So if there's no functioning power or structure going on or renewing, then there's destruction. If there's no renewing, there's only destruction going on. And that's where we go into metabolism. Metabolism is what is metabolism? Metabolism is the building up of the body and the tearing down of the body. It's called anabolism and catabolism. Anabolism is the building up of the body, and catabolism is the tearing down of the body. Your body is at all times doing metabolism. It's constantly metabolizing old cells, matter of fact, eating it, destroying it, and building up new cells. It's like it's a renovator, a group of renovators. Metabolism can be likened to a group of renovators who go around just constantly renovating a city, just going from house to house, renovating it and just going in a circle, just going around in circles, just renovating and keeping every house up to par, up to date, in other words. So metabolism goes around throughout the body, tearing down old stuff, discarding that stuff, and building up new stuff that can help you, keep this vigorance in your life. But now the problem is, though, that your body can only produce certain enzymes. It can't do digestive enzymes such as amylase and pepsin. Remember I talk about amylase getting rid of breaks down carbs, and pepsin breaks down proteins into amino acids. If your body is producing a large amounts of digestive enzyme, then it's not going to produce any metabolic enzyme. It can only do one. It's just like if you're dealing with a warehouse, and if you got one forklift and you can only you got a truck at the door for income and stuff, and you got trucks that you got to get stuff out with, but you have to use that forklift to do it. But you want to you don't know where to go at first. You got to bring in this income and stuff. Um, so you can only unload one truck at a time. So this is the same thing when you're producing enzymes in your body. Your body have to concentrate on producing one set of enzymes. There's the metabolic enzymes, and then there's food enzymes or digestive enzymes. Food enzymes are in the food. Digestive enzymes are created within the digestive tract to break down food when it comes in. And then you got the metabolic enzymes that travel throughout the body to tear down and rebuild up the body. But if you are producing a lot of digestive enzymes because you're eating all day long and you're having to digest food, then your body is never producing metabolic enzymes. And that's why a lot of us, our body is degenerating. It's just, breaking down because there's no rebuilding going on. There's no metabolism going on because we're spending all of our income buying digestive enzymes instead of sharing the wealth with buying metabolism or metabolic enzyme. Now, way to, curtail this where we can still eat is to eat foods that have their enzymes intact. That's the food enzymes. If you got food enzymes intact in your food, that's going to break down. If you notice that, that's the ripening. Enzymes are ripening the food. If you see a banana green and it start turning yellow and then brown, those are the enzymes digesting the food, making it simple sugars. In other words, notice that the banana is not sweet when it's green, and it gets sweeter as it turns brown because it's digesting that carbish banana into a sugary monosaccharide banana. It's a simple sugar now. It's just sweet. So it's sweeter as it ripens. So that's the enzyme ripening up the food. It's digesting it, making it a simple sugar. Now that's what our digestive enzyme is supposed to do. When we eat the banana, it's supposed to digest that carb into simple sugar. But if the banana itself has already ripened itself up and turned itself into a simple sugar, then our stomach don't have to release enzymes to do what the fruit has already done for you. So when Mother Nature ripens her food, she makes it where you don't even have to use none of your digestive enzyme in which to break down the food because the food is already broken down for you. All you have to do is assimilate it. All you have to do is eat it and then absorb it and assimilate it into flesh and bone. This means that all your energy and wealth can go towards metabolism. That's why the body heals so rapidly when you're eating raw, wholesome foods that have their enzyme nutrition intact. This is the greatest mystery that scientists and medical doctors are unaware of. But that's why we're bringing it to you as hygienic practitioners. Natural hygiene has been advocating this since the beginning of time. Natural hygiene has existed. It just didn't go by that name. But it was natural for man to eat his food as he just pulled it off the tree. If you read that in the book of Genesis, it was planted a garden. And all he had to do was go there. It didn't say he was planting a garden and giving a stove and all this other stuff. And he had by cooking his fruit, turning into apple pie and banana pudding and peach cobbler and things of that nature. He ate the food wholesome as it came off the tree. And those diseases and stuff that we are having now was unheard of. Only when we started the so-called fracturing our food, denaturing our food, all this culinary stuff we started doing. That's when we started breaking down our bodies and our mind. But it comes with us renewing our mind to change these habits that we have. We have habits that are not great for us to have health. All right. So those habits are because we are conditioned to believe that we're supposed to be eating the way we eat because a lot of us was brought up that way, and we're being told by the medicine man to eat this way. We're being conditioned by the you say other people encouraging us to eat these type of foods. We're being encouraged by restaurants to eat a large amount of food because they fix so much food on the plate, especially the Chinese people. They fill us up with so much rice. They give us a whole plate of rice and then a whole nother plate of vegetables with the rice, a whole big old bowl of rice and stuff like that. So we're eating huge amounts of food uh, to that we shouldn't be eating, all because it seemed like that's what we should be doing according to the status quo of the day. And mass mentality. Also, if you notice that we tend to watch these commercials, and these commercials, watching them over and over, gives us the mindset. It's like a hypnotic state that we're in. That when we start looking at these Popeye chicken commercials, these McDonald's commercials. If you look at any marketing person to tell you that they know that their marketing creates a hypnotic state into an individual, as long as they keep showing it over and over, you'll have that mindset in your head, and then you'll eventually reach out to those very things that marketing keep posting on these propaganda sites, these media, the news people, and different things. So they're creating this into your world, into your thought pattern. That's why I told you meditation is so powerful. Whatever a man thinketh, so shall he be. And we're thinking whatever we expose our senses to. If we keep exposing our senses to these different types of foods and stuff, and we don't have the vigor and mindset to reject those things, then we're going to absorb them, and that's what we're going to be going after. We're going to be eating those very things. We're going to find ourselves in the grocery store getting, you'll say, brownies with milk. All right. So if we want to have these brownies and milk, because they're showing Betty Crocker baking them on the television, then we're gonna find ourselves in the grocery store getting them, and we're gonna have that cool glass of milk that they have on the side of it, all because we saw advertisement making it. So we have to have more control of ourselves if we can't control the exposure that we're coming in contact with. But it takes for us to renew our mind, knowing that we want to be healthy. It takes for us to educate ourselves in being healthy. We cannot buy health in a pill. We cannot buy health in a potion. We cannot buy or find health at the end of a needle. These things are suppressive and means and palliative and means, and also causes iatrogenic diseases. I have people that's telling everybody who taking the medicine has some type of effect, some type of symptom that came after it. Some of them it came a couple of days later and they just didn't tag it on or didn't attribute it to the so-called vaccine that out right now. But everyone is having this problem by these people are injecting a protein and these foreign objects directly into the bloodstream, bypassing the digestive tract, bypassing everything, just going straight into the blood. And it's like throwing a monkey wrench in the system. The body don't know how to react to that, but it reacts. And that reaction is those symptoms. It reacts by trying to find a way to neutralize it, finding a way to detox it, or finding a way to store that until a later time. Those people who are not suffering anything that's right here, oh, I didn't have any side effects. I didn't have any side effects. Well, it's coming. You just haven't, your body just don't have enough energy to deal with it just yet. Those people who are getting immediate effects are the people whose body can deal with it and trying to deal with it. It's trying to neutralize it. It's trying to throw it off. But those who the body is just holding on to it and accumulating it don't have the energy to deal with it right now. It's putting it away for later on. I can't fold these clothes today. I'm just going to throw them to the side and I'll come back and fold them later. But the individual who have the ability to throw it off, sneeze it out, cough it out, have an eruption, cause the body to want to lay down to build up some energy. You feel fatigued because your body needs enough energy to try to build this stuff up. So let's renew our mind away from the medical mentality and get back into a more holistic way to think, a more holistic way to live. Natural hygiene, I told you, is that marriage, that intimacy back with nature, natural. You do so, you'll see your life transform right in front of you. You will transform your life back into sounding health. And I want to thank everyone who paid attention to our broadcast today. Natural is health. Our highlights is lose the 7 pounds, eat a real salad, keep your foods intact, stop cooking your food so much and destroying your food, eating whole food, and renewing your mind. Renew your mind where you can automatically reach for perfection. If you change the way you think, you automatically going to operate from that way of thinking. So if your behavior is toxic, then your mind is toxic. Change your mind, then your behavior change. All right. So best of health and happiness from Savannah Natural Health. This is Natural as Health. Share this with as many people as you can. And visit us, meet us here next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Tell a friend, bring a friend with you, bring some family members too, and tell them, hey, we got a show to watch called Natural as Health. All right? Best of health and happiness. See you next week.